Hi. Hello. Welcome in. Oh boy. Man, this is a tough start. Hello. And we're here today with Broken Sword. Shadow of the Templars, the Director's Cut, Definitive Edition, not the Definitive Edition. That came out in 2008, 2009 on literally everything. It's a blank spot that is in my adventure game list because it's by Revolution Software. And I have played Beneath a Steel Sky. I have played Beyond a Steel Sky. And if you've seen my video on Beyond a Steel Sky, you'll know I didn't like that one very much. But yeah, it's like I realized how few Revolution Software games I have played. And went, I have all of the Broken Sword games in one way or another. Since there's 5 of them. There might be a 6th on the way. Who knows? But yeah, I'm going like, I haven't really exposed myself to this series at all. I'm not playing Reforged just simply because I don't have it. And there's other things that I want to spend my money on than another version of the game that I already have. They say that it's the definitive version of playing it, but there's not been anything to really convince me otherwise of going like, yeah, this is absolutely the version that you should play. Like, it's updated a little bit. But yeah, we'll see what's going on with it at least. Okay. Most of this is going to be pretty blind. I had to go through it a little bit just to focus on, like, okay, what am I getting into? What am I getting into here? So there is a puzzle that I at least know that's pretty soon, because I definitely didn't want to get stuck on that puzzle. All right, let's begin.
Paris, city of love, romance, and dreams. So they say. I used to say it too, but ever since that day, the day of the murder, I've always associated my beloved Paris with death.
Oh yeah, I saw the Neil Breen title and went, Neil Breen? No, different Neil Breen. There can be people who have the same name.
I was at home having a bath when my editor called.
Collard, get your ass over to the Palais Royal now. You got an interview. With Pierre Carchon. Yes, the Pierre Carchon. No photos, so leave your gear at home. He asked for you personally. Don't ask me why. Anyhow, this could be big, so if he makes a pass, don't forget. Just smile, say yes, and keep taking notes.
So charming and so very apt. Pierre Carchon was a media king, a national hero, and one of the most infamous adulterers in Europe. He and his wife Imelda were just one step down from royalty. Whoa, I hate mimes, but unless you humor them, they don't go away. Here I was, the palace of the Media King and the Ice Queen. I pressed the doorbell and set in motion a chain of events which would change my life forever.
Yes? What is it?
Madame, my name is Nico Collard. I'm here to see Monsieur Carchon.
Come up, we're on the first floor.
Madame Cochon, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I'm sure.
The Ice Queen was certainly living up to her reputation. Will you be staying for the interview?
Mademoiselle, I know little of my husband's business affairs, and I care even less. I certainly have no intention of watching him pore over yet another pretty little journalist.
Pretty. You're too kind, madame.
The talented and very beautiful Mademoiselle Collard. Such a pleasure to meet you at last.
Monsieur Cochon, I am honored.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Call me Pierre, please. But I do not flatter you idly. I was a friend of your father. He was a great man.
My father, he never mentioned.
He and I were very close. And then his death. So tragic. I must... Imelda, your damned cat's in my study again. Another Ming vase, I suppose. Excuse me for one moment, my dear girl.
You journalists are getting younger each year.
Perhaps it's the rest of the world getting older, madame. That was no cat. My God, what? Monsieur Cochon!
He's dead. I must call the police. You'd better stay here.
There was a man. It was the mime. Do you think he...
Well, I believe we can rule out suicide, don't you?
No wonder they called her the Ice Queen. She would have been top of my list of suspects if I hadn't seen the attacker myself. And if I hadn't come across a couple of murders just like this already. One of the most important men in Europe murdered. And here was I, Nico Coulard, alone at the scene of the crime. Should I wait for the cops? Or start my own investigation? It was a no-brainer.
Okay. a bunch to take in with that. So the first thing is with Carchon in the newspaper. They were talking about, it's like, okay, he's the next president, but France doesn't use the term, or at least président doesn't really use the term president. They have a French prime minister. And then I love that he's like, okay, he's media king, everybody loves him. Also adulterer. They just throw out the term adulterer. Because, yeah, they definitely would have went after Nico if he wasn't just shot. And I almost missed her name at the beginning, which was Nico Collard. Collard. So we got Nico. Okay. Now we can move our mouse pointer. There it is. We move it around. Passes over an object. It will change to an animating icon reflected in the available action. We got a briefcase. We got a diary. We got a question mark for hints and a spanner for that. All right. There they are. We got our these. What do we got so far? Relaxing in bath when I was disturbed by phone call from my editor, Ronnie. He asked me to interview Pierre Cochon, media tycoon and serial philanderer. Okay, they use philanderer here instead of adulterer. On the case like shot. That's a fun line to use. Creepy mime outside the Carchon's apartment. There's going to be times when I'm going to be saying, okay, when did she have time to write this? Called his ice, Madame Cochon suave and charming, living up to his reputation. Played along with his flirtation, sound of a vase smashing, and Monsieur Cochon went to investigate. Gunshot, rest of the room, and found Mime standing over the body. Mime beckoned. As I walked to him, he punched me, knocked me out. Came to and found Imelda, distraught. Almost feel sorry for her. Must get to the bottom of the story before the police arrive. This is the break I've been waiting for. No inventory. We can
The bookcase was filled with obscure first editions.
I just gotta float my area around until I see blue circles. Great.
A bust of Pierre Cauchon, humble servant of La France.
Whee! I gotta look at the body. I don't want to look at the body. I want to look at the other bust of himself. He has two.
Pierre Cauchon again. His eyes seemed to follow me around the room.
Okay. Look at the body. As well.
Mimes and guns don't usually go together, but I had an idea that this was no ordinary mime. I'd come across this murderer before and written about him. The costume killer. At least that's what I'd called him. I closed his eyes. It was the least I could do for the poor fellow. I had closed his eyes. Rigor mortis hadn't set in yet. Some people hate searching corpses for clues. Me, I'm okay with it. Reminds me of an old boyfriend. Cauchon had been shot. Cauchon had been shot.
Sorry, are you sure?
Cauchon had been shot.
Okay.
In his pocket, I found a ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. Taking the ticket meant I tampered with the evidence. There was no going back now.
Sure. Look at the item. Move it around, and when it highlights with a gold outline.
It was a boat ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. When I was a little girl, Papa used to take me on the Bateau Mouche as a treat. A small round piece of glass had been cut out of the pane. This was a professional job.
Yeah, a perfect circle.
I didn't want to cut myself and leave blood on the glass. Call me old-fashioned, but I like to keep my DNA to myself. The killer must have used a ladder to reach the window. He was long gone. Guess he folded that ladder up, popped it in his pocket and took it with him.
The movement of the character is a little bit odd. Like her going out to shake her hand was very odd body posture. Not entirely sure what they used in order to get the character in order to move there, but it looks like they did a little bit of either motion capture or just like weird rotoscoping.
The police could turn up at any minute. Somewhere there were clues to the murder, and I needed to find them. The door was locked.
Playing this through, I forgot there was one thing I needed to get that wasn't on his
Pierre
body, but
Cauchon
around
was
it.
stiff for the last time.
Yeah, this thing right up here, covered by the subtitles.
It was one of my hair clips. My favorite, in fact. It must have fallen when I was knocked down.
Fallen down over here, landed over here for some reason. Again, don't leave your evidence of yourself.
A medieval pageant. Original, no doubt. The tapestry must have cost a fortune. A Louis XIV's table with an antique cloth. Imelda had taste. But hey, with a husband that rich, taste is easy. I reckoned that cloth might just turn out to be useful.
Yoink. Oh.
Even my fingernail wouldn't fit into such a small hole. There was a tiny hole in the tabletop. Part of the inlay had been chipped away.
Tiny hole. don't think I can do much with the tiny hole right now. Actually, can't I? Yeah.
Aha! Nico, you are just so damn good at this stuff. A key had been hidden in a secret compartment. A modern key. Instead of comforting Imelda, I was ransacking her flat. Why? Because
I'm
there
in
was
control.
something going on here, and I had to get answers before the cops arrived. And hey, she'd been rude to me, so she had it coming. A key. Maybe a safe key. The cloth was embroidered with an unusual symbol.
All right. Can't go that way because it's locked. Done there. I think I'm done with the table. We're just going to ransack everything before eventually talking with Imelda right over there, but she's on the phone, so she's not paying attention.
Imelda had talent, but I certainly wasn't going to tell her that. It was a tube of acrylic paint. French
She has
ultramarine.
talent. She will never paint again. I will take
Just the
it.
color I was after for my bathroom.
I'm sorry, I have to go. Someone is...
Young lady, what are you doing?
Oh, this paint. It's my favorite color.
For God's sake, keep the damn stuff.
That you need for your bathroom. Just like just a little tube that it's already been like partially
The
used.
tube of paint from Imelda's easel. French ultramarine.
Sorry, lady, can I use the phone? You need to make a call.
There was no one I needed to phone.
Oh.
Not until I had solved this case. Even the telephone was antique. Never trust anyone who owns a phone like that.
Excuse me, madame.
Yes?
Should I start with the relevant stuff or should I start with the, hey, here's the stuff I took from you?
So, her husband took secret boat trips. Did she really need to see the ticket?
Yes.
Would you like to see my favorite hair clip?
What a ridiculous question. Of course not.
Another time, I guess.
I have this really nice this really nice hair clip. I want you to see it. Hello.
You're upset, madame. Please take this.
That is the lace cloth from the table. What can you be thinking?
Imelda might not have been so cool with me poking around if I'd shown her the key I'd found.
Yep. Look what I've been finding all over your house.
The last thing she needed to talk about was paint.
All right. I don't remember who the person in the middle is.
How did your husband know my father?
I have no idea.
You didn't know him? Thierry Coulard?
Pierre knew a lot of people I didn't know, most of them women.
Okay. Let's leave the mime for last.
I am so sorry for your loss, madame.
No, you're not. You're a journalist. Journalists don't feel sorry.
Not true.
We shall see.
Why did your husband send for me? What did he want to discuss?
I have no idea. His business was his business.
He never told you anything.
No, and frankly, I preferred it that way.
Why would a mime want to kill your husband?
Pierre had plenty of enemies. Half the husbands in Paris for a start. This is quite a scoop for you. I suppose you're already inventing the headlines.
Just because I am a journalist.
Don't patronize me. You're all cut from the same cloth. Do you have any moral sense at all?
Oh, do we? Which way should I go with this one? I haven't decided which way I want to go with talking about this. I wish I had a coin to flip. I don't have a coin to flip right now. No, I won't get one. We can prove her right and go, no, I have no morals at all because apparently I've decided there's no turning back now and I'm going to solve this case, even though I have no business solving this case at all.
I certainly don't let it get in the way of a good story.
I admire your loyalty to your profession.
The police will be here soon, madame. Is there anybody you would like me to contact? Family, friends?
No, I have no family. Pierre and I were... He was all I had, really. Not much, was it? The dutiful wife. That was my role. He never talked, never let me in.
I know one thing, madame.
What?
If you want to find out who killed your husband, then you let me do the job, not the police.
Why? How do I know I can trust you?
No, it feels like I should just go the immoral option because it really favors her.
Because you have no choice. The police will take weeks, in which time your own life may be in danger.
What?
Believe me, this killer has struck before, and he will strike again. Who is to know that you are not next on his list?
I don't know.
All I need is a few more minutes to look around before the police come.
I think perhaps you do have a moral sense. Of sorts. You're not a very good liar, Nico Collard. And I share your low opinion of the police. Here, take this. It's the key to the drawing room next to the library at the end of the hall. It was Pierre's room. I rarely went in there. I couldn't. I was too scared of what I might find.
Thank you. I promise you won't regret this.
Imelda doesn't trust me very much. Fortunately, she has chosen to let me investigate her husband's murder. Can I still talk with her?
Madame Cachon,
Please call me Imelda. We hardly need the formalities now, do we?
did Monsieur Cachon say nothing to you about my father?
No. I'm sorry. He never mentioned him.
Look at this key I got from
I
you.
needed to open the drawing room door before giving Imelda back the key. I was sure that there was more to find. I just had to keep looking.
Or, you know, I could just leave because the door's right here.
I thought of leaving, but was sure there was more to find.
Yeah, I gotta finish up here.
It was the way out. A beautiful, expensive, antique way out, but the way out nevertheless.
I'm gonna get on her case about her delivery of lines. It was the way out. I never noticed the blue heels as well. Like black with a purple and then the blue. It'll stay it's
The
locked.
door was locked.
But I have the key. Like so.
Now we were getting somewhere.
Yeah. Open doors. Mm-hmm.
The painting showed the Cachons together, in love. As the poet said, the past is a different country. Or did I read that in a fortune cookie?
In love with shotguns. At least they're open.
The painting was attached firmly to the wall.
There's a button
There
over
was
here.
the very faintest of clicks.
Ah,
Behind the picture was a safe. The safe was locked. I needed the key.
I'm not even going to try the combination over here. Just need the safe key. Warner safe. Okay. Don't have the key. Oh wait, I do. Never mind. Don't I? Yeah.
There
um,
was a strange stone cylinder
Sure.
in the safe.
that's what that looks like.
In the safe was some kind of artifact. There were strange symbols on its surface. It looked like the printer's blocks I'd made at art school. If there was one thing I'd learned about symbols, they are always important. But these symbols scratched into stone were impossible to read. I needed to find a way of printing them. At least the stone was round. But what could I use for ink? And what could I print on? Sure, I was stealing, but I knew Imelda didn't know about the artifact, and Carchon was past caring.
Yep. Light switch I can also fiddle with.
Even the light switch looked impressive. I didn't need the lights on. It was light enough already.
Oh,
I didn't need...
okay. Maybe let's take a sit and think about what we're doing.
This wasn't the time for me to lie on the sofa doing my Marie Antoinette impression. Though it is very popular at parties, especially with gay guys. Don't ask me why. This wasn't the time for... Though it is very popular at parties, especially with gay guys. Don't ask me why.
Okay. I won't. You're just talking. Yes. Can't go over to the door. Chandelier. Can't gawk at the chandelier.
As expected, the desk was yet another priceless antique. Yawn. The blotter and in tray had clearly been placed with mathematical precision.
I can take the elephant.
My heart skipped a beat. It was a carved elephant. But not just any carved elephant. It had been made by my father. I knew for certain because in my apartment I had its exact twin, carved into a box he had made. So Carchon had known my father. They really must have been friends. I decided to take the carved elephant. It clearly meant nothing to Imelda.
Whoop. Wee.
I didn't
Have
want
a
to take
tray.
the tray, but I knew that I could use it. I didn't want to take the tray, but I knew that I could use it.
But I knew that I could use
The
it.
in-tray, like everything else in this place, was beautiful. One day I was going to have an in-tray like that, even if I had to sell my apartment to pay for it.
How expensive would this tray be? Just kind of a weird comparison to make.
It was a sheet of blotting paper in a leather holder. Its cracked surface looked ancient, reminded me of its owner. I didn't need a sheet of blotting paper. Not while it was blank.
Okay, so the paper is there. Before I do anything, there is the door over here. Can I do anything with it, or is it locked?
Locked. Not surprising, really.
Yeah, it would be locked if you were trying to do anything up here versus the handle, which is all the way down here.
It was a back door.
Okay. All based on the cylinder
The
that we got.
artifact was like an old printer's block, covered in symbols. The blotter was
Loading.
flat already. Rolling the cylinder across it would achieve nothing.
No, I'm just gonna roll into like a rolling pin. So if we do that,
The cloth was embroidered with an unusual symbol.
and this was lace. Well, let's.
Paint would have just soaked into the blotting paper.
Okay.
But the idea was good.
I mean, hey, you're on the right track. You're on the right track. If I put the cloth down.
No.
Nope. Okay, this is where you actually had to go and combine, because that's where that symbol all of a sudden shows up there. It really doesn't look like a proper combine. It's also 69ing, which is a problem. But if we were to combine the paint with the
Putting the paint
cylinder?
straight on the cylinder would be too messy. The paint would go everywhere.
Fine. The cloth.
I smeared the paint all over the cloth. When I do messy, I really like to put my heart into it. I hoped this was going to help. They don't make lace like that anymore. The paint had been squeezed from the tube.
And then we combine it with
I
the
wiped
cylinder.
the paint-covered cloth over the surface of the stone cylinder. It took me right back to art class at school. And Maurice, my gorgeous art teacher. Such a shame they had to fire him. Ah well. Concentrate, Nico, concentrate.
Okay, and then
The cylinder
it's covered
was
in paint.
covered in the blue paint. I needed to work out what to do before the paint dried.
And then we go and roll it.
Genius.
Not paying
The
attention
roller
to
and the
how we
pen
would have
worked
blue
just
hands.
as I planned. But what did it say? It was some kind of coded message. It read, sub judice. I may not have learned a lot as a journalist, but that was a term I knew well. It means a legal case that is before the courts. Below it was a sequence of letters that made no sense. I suddenly realized there was a connection between the boat ticket and the coded message. The boat ticket was stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. The conciergerie on the Ile de la Cité by the river housed the ancient law courts. So, sub judice could in this case mean literally under the law courts, below the conciergerie. I was pretty sure I'd found all I could here. And besides, all this opulence was making me pine for my regular life of poverty. This was a huge story. It was also one heck of a puzzle with a lot of pieces missing. But I was going to crack it. And if I could just remember the name of that fancy prize you get for being an ace journalist, I was definitely going to win it this time.
The only one I'm thinking of off the top of my head is the Palme d'Or, but that's wrong. Ashton's safe found a stone cylinder with symbols carved on the surface, an imprint, and found that it contained a coded message. Sub judice. SDSSDSS. First case that is under the jurisdiction of the court. Carrying a boat ticket marked Bateau de la Conciergerie. Coded message. Includes sub judice. By going to the quayside on the Ile de la Cité. Literally under the Constitution. We just use the back door in order to get out.
Locked. Not surprising, really. The cloth was covered in blue paint. I hoped that I hadn't ruined it for nothing.
Oh well, oh well. Well, I guess we can mindlessly show Imelda our things that we got. Look at my blue paint. Oh, yeah, we can. We have to talk directly to her head.
Did you find anything useful?
This carving. Do you know anything about it?
It was Pierre's. What does the statue have to do with...
Please, I need to know.
He was given it by a friend. Something to do with Africa.
He never explained any more.
No. But I think it was important to him. Always on display. Why?
It was carved by my father.
Oh, I see. I didn't know.
Imelda, I will do everything I can to find the killer.
Thank you, my dear.
And if the police ask,
Don't worry. You were never here.
Sub judice was the key. I was going to have to find a way under the conciergerie. I decided to head straight for the quayside on the Ile de la Cité. If there was a way of getting under the conciergerie, it would have to be from there.
Okay.
Canchon wasn't the type for messing about on the river. He was up to something down here. Something that got him killed.
All right, the blue paint went away.
An old boyfriend of mine owned a barge once. dampest relationship I ever had. In every way.
Probably lived on it. At the same time, didn't care for it.
The fence wouldn't move.
I think all of them don't move.
This fence was a permanent fixture.
Sure.
I wasn't leaving yet. I had a hunch there was more to find.
Well, let's look at the one that's actually marked.
The cross looked familiar. I'd seen it before. It was embroidered on the lace cloth I'd picked up at Carchon's apartment. I knew I was on the right track.
All right. So here is the puzzle. I saw this and went, okay, I have to figure this out before I do this. Otherwise, we're going to
Tried
be stuck
pushing the
here
fence,
for like
but
an
it
hour.
wouldn't move. A strange pair of locks stopped the latches from releasing the gate.
Because, and I don't know about the reforged version, but there is 2 sliding puzzles we got to finish. And these sliding puzzles are not like 5 steps and you're done. So yeah, we have to move the slash all the way to the end. But there's vertical blocks blocking the way, so we gotta move everything around. Oh, it's lovely. This first one is actually easier to understand what's going on after you've done it once, at least, because it is working in a counterclockwise fashion of moving the blocks around. So if I move these around, or kind of clockwise, but then counterclockwise, it makes more sense visually than the other one. As if I do that, and then we put those down, because I have to move this one all the way down in order to move it, because I don't have enough room on up top. This one can go either direction, but I have to be... Actually, no, I can't. So this one has to go up as well, ultimately, in order for everything to move over to that side. But that means that both of these have to move over to the left. So that's kind of where we are. And move that one. Move that one over so that one goes back up so that these can go a little bit further. That one can go further down now that it can be moved. And then that one can go all the way. That this one, that one can go down. That one can go all the way over. Because even though we can move it all the way up, we can't do it just yet. And that one can go. And then we move these 2 up because I have to move that one over so that this one can go all the way down. So that this one can start moving. And that one can go over so that one can go up, and then we can move it.
One down, one to go.
Now, even though we've moved one of them over, we should be able to push it over on this side in order to open the gate. Except they explain why you have to do both of them. It's their decision, whatever. So now we got to do the second one. And again, when I was figuring this out, I'm going like, I'm glad I'm figuring this out now and not blindly during this. Because, yeah, the second one was kind of a pain. Because you can move it already all the way over here, but it's not actually what you're supposed to do right now. Actually, it is technically. But it's not open yet because you have to put it all the way over. We also don't want it to go moving backwards. Not just yet. We have to move it back a little bit in order to make it move. And put it here, there, and then that can go there. And this one can move down. We're gonna move it back a little bit since we have spaces to move over here. Like this one has to go all the way up. over and back. And this one goes there. That one go. No. Don't want it to go back up. That over, 'cause that's fine. That one goes down, so we can move that one over. And then move it all the way back up. Right? And then we can move it over.
Nothing like a good convent education for honing your lockpicking skills.
Because, yeah, the gate just completely falls. I'm like, didn't need to do that. We could have just had a hinge, you know?
For a room full of junk, that was one very sophisticated lock system. This place was definitely fishy, in more ways than one.
And the entire reason for why the gate had to do this,
It was almost as if the fence was intended to double as a bridge.
because I can't expect Nico to be able to jump. Just jump a bit and have the curse of getting wet, because as will be made out of any sort of reactive metal.
I really didn't want to pull the fence back up and risk trapping myself in this place.
Again, no jumping whatsoever. So this is where we get to have some fun, because apart from that sliding puzzle, I was like, okay, let's leave it and continue on.
Oops.
Oh. Okay, that's a boat. Didn't realize that was a boat.
Moving a skiff would only damage it more. I'd wrecked the skiff. Not that it was particularly seaworthy anyway.
Ah, thing. Like things.
An old shell case. I wondered what that was doing there. The brass case was smooth and perfectly round.
Found a shell case underneath rotting skiff. Weird thing to find in a grotto. Okay. Alright, door.
No handle, nothing obvious. But there had to be a way to open it. So, a stone door. There had to be a mechanism to open it. A rough hole was cut into the pillar. The words Sinister and Dexter were carved on either side. Now any good convent girl like me knows the old Roman for left, right. But what did it mean here?
But a big hole.
The hole was too small even for my little hand.
Well, you have the cylinder.
Mystery solved. Carchon's stone cylinder slotted into the hole with a satisfying click.
And it even has a flare. So Sinister, Dexter. Left, right.
A satisfying click told me I turned it to the right position. It felt like tumblers in a safe.
So
Rolling out the painted cylinder had given me a print of a secret message. It read, Sub Judice. Below it was a sequence of letters, S, D, S, S, D, S, S.
Sinister, Dexter, Sinister. Okay, so that's why I was telling me, hey, you did this correctly. It clicked because the first is an S. So S, D, S, S, D, S, S. Dexter, Sinister, Sinister, Dexter, Sinister, Sinister. Dexter,
Another click. Another step closer.
Sinister, Sinister. Dexter. Sinister, Sinister.
I love the sound of locks clicking open.
Right.
I removed the stone
Oh,
cylinder.
good. Okay. I thought it was done.
I'd already unlocked the door.
Yeah,
A
that was
rough hole
what I was
cut
wondering
into
about.
the pillar.
Like, okay, so was the cylinder done? Apparently not, since you could take it out. Operated mechanism which opened door to a hidden chamber, but my way is blocked. Someone has gone great lengths to protect something. What can I look at? So I can go out. Is that it? It's the only thing. Look at the cross.
Oh my god! The slab came down with a hell of a force. The cross looked familiar. I'd seen it before. With nothing to hold it up, the cross dropped back down again. If I was going to get a closer look at the panel, I'd have to find a way of keeping the cross up.
Well, what's this panel?
The panel was firmly closed.
Okay.
The panel wouldn't move.
Unless I prop up the cross.
The cross looked familiar. I'd seen it before.
We can go out the door, or what's down here? What's the welcome mat?
Ut lex vel ut next sumito. To the law or unto death submit. I guess these people didn't believe in liberté, égalité, or fraternité. Yes, I'll admit it. I was a swot at school. I also wore lipstick and the nuns never knew. Ut lex vel ut next sumito. To the law or unto death submit.
To the law or unto death submit. Well, let's prop it up again.
Lifting the cross closed the entrance door and also opened some kind of stone panel. Ingenious.
But,
The cross looked familiar.
you know, you've seen it before. But, the minute I move away from it, something else happens. To the law or unto death.
It was the beautiful elephant my father had carved. The brass case was smooth and perfectly round.
Yeah, shell case. Does it literally like shoot? I can put some. No, it just highlights on whatever. Okay, she's gonna just shake her head. Can you put it down there? No. Cloth? Nope. Cylinder. There was a hole in there. I want to put the cylinder in it.
I wasn't going to risk damaging the artifact.
I love that we didn't even give the
It
key
was the
back
drawing
to.
room key.
Yeah, didn't even give the key back to Imelda.
A safe key.
Yeah, the save key that we still have for some reason. Shell casing.
A brass shell case versus a stone slab contest.
Okay, I'm gonna crush it. Okay, let's do it. Yeah? It didn't work.
The stone slab had flattened one end of the shell case. The shell case had been flattened at one end, forming a serrated edge.
So would that mean, with that edge, I prop it up, put in the edge, and it
The stone
goes down.
cross was propped up. Now I was
Okay.
getting somewhere.
Okay. So,
The cross was firmly propped up.
all right, now I can look at the panel at least.
No way would I be able to force the door open. I touched the slot. Nothing bad happened, which was good. I've always been attached to my fingers. This slot was designed for something specific. But what?
Something cylindrical, which I have many things in my inventory that are cylindrical. But imagine if you didn't take it out. Yeah, you would have to just like undo all that, go outside, take the cylinder, and then redo it.
The artifact slotted into the hole perfectly. Behind the old walls, I could hear some kind of mechanism groaning into life, but whatever had been triggered had now jammed.
Over here.
The gap was too thin for me to get a grip. I needed something thin enough to prise the door open.
And it, elephant. Elephant is no.
I
Probably
was
not.
going to need something a lot stronger than
Yeah.
a hair clip to free the door.
Okay. It's too floppy. I don't have anything. Ticket won't work. That's propping the door open.
I removed the shell case. The cross didn't drop back down. Some kind of mechanism was holding it up.
Oh, because this is holding it up. Okay, so if I take that out, then the cross will come back down, then the door will open. So does that really mean I'm using this again? Okay.
Another good use for a shell case. Another secret room. Somebody had something to hide. But was it what I was looking for?
And she just goes straight into the dark room.
Wow. Through the darkness, I could see that this was a stateroom. But for what purpose? And how did it tie in with Carchon?
What if you just go straight into it and there's nothing to interact with? What's this bit out here. Yeah. Out where the literal door is the thing that I interact with.
Amazing. The thing still worked. The room lit up bright as day.
Okay. Ooh.
A door like that always has something important behind it. I had to find a way to unlock it. That wasn't going to help. A slot next to the safe door. All I had to do was find something to fit into it. It was like being back in kindergarten. All I needed now was a shape that would fit the slot.
What kind of slot is it? Because if it's any kind of slot, then the square peg can go into it.
Lady Justice stared out from a stone door, which was locked and reinforced with steel bands. I wasn't going to find anything in this old desk. It hadn't been used for years. The desks were covered with a layer of dust. No one had worked here for years.
Europe?
The flags had faded, but their message was still pretty clear. Fascist regalia, a message of hate.
Alright, so the cross is bad. Understood.
Rolling out the paint,
Cross is bad. Stop using crosses on flags. Busts of different people all around. Everything's dusty except for this desk.
It was pretty clear from the lack of dust that someone had been working very recently at this desk.
Even left a coffee mug on here?
The dregs at the bottom of the mug hadn't dried out or gone moldy. It wasn't more than a day old. The congealed coffee wasn't appealing.
No? Elusive. Two men assassinated in Rome and Tokyo. Someone disguised? Simple coincidence? Or serial murder? Figuring out the costume killer is what Nico called him. Tueur déguisé. Déguisé? Déguisé? Tueur déguisé. All about the costume killer. The 21st century. Huh.
This was the article I'd written about the costume killer. My suspicions were right. Canchon had cut it out. 2 businessmen had been killed. One in Italy, one in Japan. In each case, the killer had worn a costume. A penguin, and then a snowman. But that wasn't the only link between the 2 murders. Both the victims had been big media do-gooders, and I proved they were just the opposite. So, how did they fit in with Canchon?
Love this. Like, this is the article I wrote. There's more than one article here. There's maybe 5 if the 5th one wasn't covered up.
Oh my god. The sheet was a printout with my personal information. Everything from my favorite food to my waist size. They were right about chocolate, but come on guys, I'm a size 10. There was even a picture of me, taken with a telephoto lens. Canchon wouldn't have taken these pictures himself. This was big and organized. I was part of it, and people were getting murdered.
Kind of didn't need to know that she was a size 10. Seems not important. Place that someone wanted to hide, something very sinister is going on, and I'm part of it. Okay. Also the drawer. Ooh.
Inside the drawer, I found a note written in some kind of code.
Okay. We can still push it back in. Or not.
Damn, don't you just hate it when that happens?
Well, put it back in then. Except...
A photo, long lost, had fallen down the back of the drawer. It was very old, but there was no mistaking the guy in the foreground. Carchon. Behind him were soldiers, a burning village, and a corpse. The photograph was cropped on the right-hand side. Somebody else in the picture obviously didn't want to be in it anymore. I wasn't surprised. This was Africa in the 60s. An uprising was being brutally suppressed. And here was Mr. Media himself, Carchon, doing the suppressing. The photograph was not just powerful evidence. It was also my ticket to one explosive story.
Yeah, I have the picture. And also that message, too.
There was
Anything else?
nothing else in the drawer.
No. Okay.
The drawer had come out easily enough, but wouldn't fit back into place.
Ugh. What a jerk involving himself in Africa's business there. Hey. How's it going? Okay. I looked at the desk, looked at Europe, looked at the flags, which might as well be taken as just Nazi propaganda at this point. But if the subtitle, which hasn't even popped up yet in terms of the story, the Templars, are any indication, yeah, that might as well be an interpretation of the Templar cross. Okay. Can we turn off the lights?
Turning the lights off wasn't going to help.
Sure it was. It was going to save whoever energy bill this was. No, save the rich people's energy bill. Okay.
That was
keep it
more
on.
sensible.
Keep it on. Let whoever's going to come in here next know that someone was here. It seems perfectly reasonable, Nico. So, should be able to just leave. Pick up the cylinder and just go. Yeah, that flips everything around. Okay. And we can just go. Cool.
I wasn't leaving yet.
Mm.
I had a hunch there was more to find.
There is the... Okay. So that means... Yeah, I didn't look at the code yet. Ooh. The note has been written using a substitution cipher. This means that a different symbol has been used to represent each letter of the alphabet. To crack the code, you must correctly match all of the symbols to their corresponding letters. Highlight symbol and highlight the corresponding letter. If you make a mistake, click on the go back button to step back, or you can reset the whole puzzle by clicking on the reset button. Ooh. And it's a healthy puzzle. Or a healthy message. So I could... They gave each of them a sound effect. Okay. Alright, there's... Oh, highlights all of the symbols. I think that's actually visually handy. So I would assume... Like, I'm going by Wheel of Fortune rules here. So, yeah, if that's only one, that's a very uncommon letter that's being used in there. That could be like a K or something. But if there's more... If it more commonly appears in the puzzle like this one, then that means... and that means it's a more common letter. So I'm literally going RSTLNE right now. Okay. Oh, that one wasn't used at all. Okay. That one. That one isn't used either. very not used. Okay. That one isn't used at all. So that can be like a Q or a V or a Z or an X. One of those. And that one's used a lot too. Also have to think about the placement of other letters around it. Only used once and at the end on its own. Okay. Just gotta try something and see if any letters materialize. Get back into Wheel of Fortune, I guess. Like we can start with this one, which feels like because it's there so much, I can use it as an E. That's not going to give me much unless I put something else in there. Oh, no, that's an E. Okay. Because I clicked on something else. Only together with 1, 2 other words there. It's up here twice. Would that be an O? Try an O there. Okay. It's just because it was there too. And there's not a lot of 3-letter words where there's the same letter twice. Okay. No idea. Oh, let's try this one. I'm going by if it's directly before an E. Vanna White. It's so very important. It's so very important. Now I'm just going like, is the next letter that I'm looking at like makes the most sense with it? Because I'm thinking this is an A. Because it's after the E in some cases, but it's never before the E, and that makes more sense. So let's put that there. Okay. Not much to work with. I'm just looking with the biggest ones. Maybe the biggest. No, it wasn't. There's another one that was very. Where was it? This one. This one. So if I haven't put R down, I haven't put R, S, or T down, or L, or N. I haven't followed the rule at all. I'm following my own logic. But if that's 2, then that would be a T. Okay. Now I've kind of gotten the Wheel of Fortune idea here. So I could look through and see what I could come up with. So 2 and 2 and... That's not great. Or is it great? It looks like great. That would be... That's take. So that could be the K. And it's only used once, so that would make sense. So that could be take. I was thinking that this word here over here was together. We got a couple G's. A few G's. So the N looking one is the H. Okay. And then, yeah, the swirly is an R. It was an okay amount. Okay. Now it looks like we can just go through this and see what we got. So this one up here, we got 2 P's in the puzzle. I wasn't expecting me to do like weird Wheel of Fortune with this one. Pierre? That could be an I. Lots of I's. Okay. Pierre. The report to something. The pickaxe looking one looks like the S. This is to something to wait. Oh, got a bunch of W's then. And that's a name. Shoot. Oh, but that's an N. Okay. That's an N. Okay. Arno and the UE looking one is the and. Both. Ah, there's the U. Urgent. Urgent. But this is too urgent to wait. Arno and... wait, if they're going by that, it's Italy and Japan. So Arno and... I'm going to take a shot in the dark. That's Yamada. Not that one. That's Yamada. And that's M. Both dead. Oh, I lost the S. Put the S back in. Thank you. Arno and Yamada both dead. This is not a coincidence. Yeah. Indeed, it seems that all of yeah, full report to follow. Not a coincidence. Indeed, it seems that all of us who came together in July are in danger. Take great care. And if this is a secret message, I'm going with the stereotypical, what would you sign your name as in order to keep your anonymity? It wouldn't be Q, wouldn't be V, wouldn't be Z, it would be...
I had decrypted the note. It read, Pierre.
That felt good.
Full report to follow.
That felt good.
But this is too urgent to wait. Arno and Yamada both dead. This is not a coincidence. Indeed, it seems that all of us who came together in July are in danger. Take great care. X. I wasn't the only one to make the connection between the costume killer murders. I'd been right all along. That was why he had asked to meet me. But what did I know that he didn't? I had enough for a story. An amazing story that was going to make my reputation and blow Conchance to pieces. I needed to get home fast and start typing.
Okay, literally was just missing that. Finish the puzzles and you got on to the next section.
Bonsoir, Collard.
Nico, it's Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie, you cracked open the champagne yet?
Are you crazy?
What's wrong? Wait a minute. You didn't print it, did you?
Of course I didn't print.
That's the best piece I've written.
The last, as far as I'm concerned.
It's important.
It's suicidal. You can't destroy a national hero.
He deserved it.
His corpse isn't even cold.
Ronnie, 2 hours ago I told you what I'd found. You loved it. You begged me to write it up immediately.
2 hours is a long time in newspapers, Nico.
Someone's got to you, haven't they?
Listen up, Nicole, and listen good. Pierre Carchon had a lot of friends. Powerful friends. For your own sake.
Forget what happened.
You got it. End of conversation. Good night.
Well, she may have been fired.
This should have been my big break, but I knew there was nowhere else to sell this story. If Ronnie wouldn't print it, nobody would. Bonsoir, Collard.
Mademoiselle Collard, my name is Plantard. I need to talk to you about your story. Your Pierre Carchon story.
How did you know about that?
There are people out there, madame, who will be very upset by this story.
Oh, really? Well, it's their lucky day. It's been spiked.
Yes, I know. We must meet.
We must?
I have information relating to your costume killer stories. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., Café de la Chandelle Verte, Rue Alain Court. I shall be wearing a grey overcoat. You must talk to no one about this.
You can't tell me what to...
Tomorrow at 8. I'll be waiting.
People complain about newspaper articles all the time, but not usually before they're printed. I was beginning to feel scared. This guy, Plantard, could I trust him? Should I meet him or forget the whole business? I didn't have an answer.
And reset to original position and fade to black. Yeah. Okay.
I'd only been in Paris for a week, but already I'd fallen in love with the city. My latest discovery was a little cafe, La Chandelle Verte. I was pretty sure the waitress was taking a shine to me. That old Stobart charm, I guess. Little did I know my reverie was about to be so rudely interrupted.
And he looks at it just like, oh, what a morning.
As I picked myself up, I was really angry. 1 minute I'm on vacation, the next minute some clown's blown me up. I knew right away what I was going to do. I was going to find that clown and bring him to justice. Because justice matters. Justice is up there with liberty and equality and, fraternity. After all, that's why I'd studied law, wasn't it? Well, that and the money, of course.
Well, shoot. Okay. Yeah, costume killer. So we got a mime who goes and shoots him. But then we also got clown who is doing acts of terrorism. Great. Paris vacation. Sitting in cafes, drinking coffee, enjoying the sunshine and the ladies. And the cafe just exploded. A clown left a bomb in an accordion. Killed a guy and nearly killed me. Came away from it unscathed, of course. I will bring that clown to justice once I get some hearing back in my ears. Whew. Can we just chase after him?
The clown had fled into this alley, but there was no sign of him now.
Ooh, his audio is really odd. It kind of goes all over the place in terms of its quality.
There was nothing of interest. It was a plastic crate.
Cat.
It was a battered old trash can. I'd had it with sticking my nose into French trash cans.
It sounds like his lines were from the original.
It smelled like someone had dumped a truckload of fish in a locker room on a hot summer afternoon.
Casually close it again.
I took a deep breath and prepared to climb the drain pipe.
But okay, why? Where it doesn't go anywhere.
I can escape over the rooftops.
Yeah, it doesn't even go high enough.
I decided I'd had enough of messing with that drain pipe.
How slow and
cover was
smooth
too
it
heavy
is,
and
it
awkward to
definitely
lift with my
feels
bare
like there's
hand.
rotoscoping. I can't open
It was an iron cover concealing the entrance to a drain or sewer.
Okay. Ain't too much over here, but there is a newspaper that I saw. As well as the construction man in the back who's just digging. 8 a.m., no one's up. Everything's fine. Professor Oswald, winner of the Nobel Prize. Paris for... Huh. Okay. Souvenir. Boutin de star. Vive à la conférence tenue. Brutal assassination of Pierre Cauchon. National état de choc.
The big story was about the brutal murder of a French media magnate, shot down in cold blood. The guy oozed confidence, like a regular French statesman.
Ooh, that difference in quality. Wow.
The big story was about the brutal murder of a French media magnate, shot down in cold blood. The guy oozed confidence, like a regular French statesman.
Yeah, they really repurposed lines, because otherwise there'd be no reason for the huge difference in quality.
The column was devoted exclusively to rumor, gossip, and sensationalism.
The leading article referred to the visit of a Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
Oh, excuse you. Doesn't even... Yeah, it doesn't even say. Yeah, it's too blurry. Oh, well. And then we have Salah-ad-Din. 1345.
I noticed the writing at the foot of the page. It read Salah-ad-Din, 1345.
Kind of banging on the nose a little bit. I really hope it doesn't, but... Alright. Take the newspaper. Just stuff it in my pants. Do I dare go into the cafe?
I examined the jagged glass remaining in the window. It was broken, all right.
Yeah, everything's messed up in there. Yeah, I could just go in. Somehow... What kind of a... How is she still alive? Huh.
The sight of the dead guy's staring eyes turned my knees to jelly. I tried not to meet his stare as I searched the dead man's pockets. No wallet, no papers, no credit cards. The guy's past was a blank page. It was the body of the old man. It was hard to believe I'd seen him alive only minutes before.
Boop.
I'd hoped the fact that the mirror was already broken meant I'd escaped the bad luck. The mirror had smashed into 1,000 pieces. Bad luck for someone. Poor guy. He was pretty mashed up. He was pretty mashed up.
Okay.
I needed a stiff drink, but I hated the taste of brandy. I needed a stiff drink.
Okay, but I'm not going to take the bottle at all? All right. So you look pretty unscathed. How is that possible? Where were you?
Oh, my head. Never again. How much vodka did I drink? Oh, no, don't tell me. What is your name, Sherry?
George Stobart, ma'am. You look like you could use a little help.
I could use a little drink. I feel sick, dizzy, and bruised. I don't even remember the party.
Just relax and take it easy. You've been knocked out.
You don't say. What happened?
There's been an explosion. You should try not to move.
Are you a doctor?
Oh, I've been looking at his movements there. It's very beneath the steel sky. Are we a doctor? Are we a doctor? Or are we not? She seems pretty concussed, yeah. At least. Mentioned bruises. But compared to... Well, he was sitting next to the thing. Doing pretty okay. I don't know. I don't think we really need to say that she's a doctor.
No, but I used to play
Or he's a
hospitals when I was a kid. Can you remember anything at all?
No. I need a drink. Pour me a brandy.
Ooh, she wants the drink. I'm very much want to give her a drink. I'm not a doctor. Yeah, let's give her a drink.
Is that straight or with ice?
Just give me the bottle with a teat on it.
I guess a little drop won't hurt.
That's better.
She knocked back the brandy as if it was water. I was glad I wasn't picking up the check.
Oh, oh no.
Hey, wake up! She didn't respond. If I wanted another cappuccino, I'd have to serve myself.
The tone of this whole situation is very, very whiplash.
Hey, wake up! Hey, wake up! Hey, wake up!
That's very... Okay, you can definitely tell where the original 1996 version is in this one, because that's very Foster coming out of his mouth.
Hey,
Hey.
wake up. Hey.
Hey. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the situation is just like, okay, everything's kind of cool. No one's shown up yet. And then when we head outside, the guy working in the construction over here is just continuing to go on his own business. Didn't even go like, oh, there's an explosion? What? Crazy. Oh, speaking of which.
Freeze! Hold it, right there.
Oh, don't shoot. I'm innocent. I'm an American.
Can't make up your mind, huh?
I demand to see the American consul.
Drop your weapons and get down on the ground.
Put that thing away, Sergeant Moo. I apologize, monsieur, but I cannot permit you to leave.
Am I under arrest?
Ah, no, I would simply like to ask you some questions. En avant, to the café, marche.
I'm innocent. I'm an American.
What a mess. This bombing is an outrage, is it not?
Stop that, monsieur.
Has it occurred to you that he may be dead, Moo?
Oui, monsieur. But I prefer to look on the bright side. Besides, I recall a case where the killer escaped by feigning death. However, in this case, the man is quite dead.
Examine the girl and take her statement, if you can. Et maintenant, to business. Your name, please?
George Stobart. I'm from California.
And what brings you to Paris, Monsieur Stobart?
Travel. I'm touring Europe.
You chose well. The city is most beautiful at this time of year, no?
Yeah, I guess so, apart from the bomb blasts.
Were you in the vicinity of the cafe at the time of the explosion?
Yeah, I was sitting out on the sidewalk. I was lucky I wasn't killed. The inspector passed over my remark with no reaction.
Did you see the deceased enter the cafe?
Yeah, no reason to lie.
Yes, I did.
Was he alone?
Yeah.
And did he say anything to you?
No. He was more interested in the waitress.
Did you see anyone else in the cafe?
I mean, yeah. Staring at me.
Yeah, there was a guy dressed as a clown. He was carrying an accordion.
An accordion? Bon. The picture is forming in my mind, and it is not a pretty one. Is the girl all right, Moo?
She'll live if she survives the hangover. She doesn't remember seeing a clown, monsieur.
That's odd, don't you think, monsieur? Who am I to believe, I wonder? Eh bien, I have heard enough.
What do you mean?
I am satisfied that you know nothing. You may leave. I hope this little incident does not spoil the rest of your vacation.
What about my personal safety? Can't you at least give me some advice?
What can I say? Stay alert and look out for suspicious characters.
And don't cross the road until the little man shows green.
Great advice.
I honestly believe you are in no danger, monsieur. Should you remember anything of importance, please contact me. My card.
Thanks.
That is all. You may go.
There's not much to go on, monsieur.
On the surface, no. But what lurks inside the subconscious? If the door can only be opened.
Are you serious, monsieur? I thought your interest in psychic detection was purely academic.
Okay. Oh, hey, she's here. Well, she's supposed to be, I assume. I suppose. Don't think I had anything to do with the explosion. It was relief, but who was responsible? Well, I'm not going to talk with Nico yet.
Ah, Monsieur Stobart, n'est-ce pas?
That's correct. You remember me.
The retention of such data is part of my duty as a gendarme. That is our crime is fought through attention to detail, not intuition.
Yes, sure.
Hey, Sergeant, look at the card that the guy
Look,
gave me.
Sergeant, the inspector gave me his card.
Yes, monsieur. He wants you to advise him if you have any information concerning this case.
Well, I'd be glad to talk with him, but I don't want him working his psycho weirdness on me.
Ah, no, monsieur. You're confusing the science of parapsychology with witchcraft.
Oh, yeah? What's the difference?
We don't do sacrifices.
Parapsychology. Yeah.
I found this in the street, Sergeant.
That, monsieur, is a newspaper, no?
There's a note written on it. Salah Eddin,
Mm-hmm.
1345.
Aha!
That stumped you, hasn't it?
I have never been stumped, as you put it, in my life, monsieur. It is the name assumed by the clown, no?
Salah Eddin the clown? I don't think so.
Well,
I was one of the last people to see the victim alive, Sergeant.
Does that worry you?
Yes, it does. I feel I kinda...
I feel like I
owe it
killed
to
him.
to find his killer.
That is best left to the authorities, monsieur. Did he speak to you? Tell you anything?
No, he just grinned and nodded.
Don't let it trouble you, monsieur. Go home and try to forget.
Please, just try to forget. Didn't need to worry about anything here.
What is Rosso doing with that girl?
He is giving her the once-over, as you Americans say.
That's not what it
Once he
means.
gets his teeth into a case, nothing will shake him off.
Yikes.
See you later, Sergeant.
Hopefully not.
I examined the jagged glass remaining in the window.
Okay. I could go over and see the construction worker, but Nico's also right here, so I might as well talk to her.
mademoiselle? Hi. My name's George Stobart.
Oh, an American by the sound of it.
Yep, that's right. On vacation in Paris. Some vacation, huh?
You were here when the bomb went off?
Sure was. Sat right out in front of the cafe.
Did you notice a middle-aged man, maybe 60, with a hat and overcoat?
I couldn't believe it. She hadn't even asked how I was feeling. Yeah, he went inside just before the bomb exploded. You weren't related to him, were you?
Oh, no, nothing like that. I'm Nicole Collard from La Liberté.
What is that, some kind of nightclub?
Oh, no, it's a newspaper.
You're a reporter?
I'm a freelance photojournalist.
Say, you could interview me about the bombing. An eyewitness account, minutes after the outrage that shook the whole of Paris. You know, real-life drama, human interest, that kind of stuff.
I'll just stick to the facts, thank you. Did you see who planted the bomb?
I know it sounds crazy, but he was dressed like a clown.
A clown? It's him again.
Is it McKin? Hey, look at the card that the man
Look,
gave
The
me.
inspector gave me his card.
Rosso!
You know him?
Oh, yes, we've met. I didn't know his first name was Augustin. It suits him, I must say.
What's the direction that she was given with that line? She was overly smitten with that.
I found this newspaper outside the cafe.
That is not a newspaper, it's a gossip rag.
There's something written in it. Salah Eddin, 1345.
It sounds like a betting tip. The name of the horse and the time of the race. What do you think?
I mean, I guess it makes sense.
That's what I thought, but the name of the meeting isn't given.
Well, so what? I'm not the least bit interested in horse racing, are you?
No, but it could be a clue to the killer's next move.
Do you think his next victim will be the jockey? Or the horse?
She looked at me with a playful twinkle in her eye. Okay, it's a long shot.
Okay. So we can talk about the... Well, I'm interested in what she thinks about the inspector now, because... Yeah, that delivery was jarring.
Rosso didn't blink when I told him about the clown. It's as if he already knew.
That's typical of a cold fish like Rosso. I've seen cheeseburgers with more spunk.
Okay.
Who was the guy you were supposed to meet?
His name was Plantard. I didn't know him, but he called me last night. He said he had a story which would interest me. He asked me to meet him at the cafe. I guess I'll never know what he wanted to tell me.
Well, not unless you have Rosso's gift for psychic interrogation. How did Plantard get your name?
Through the newspaper, La Liberté. I'd written an article linking two unsolved murders, one in Italy, the other in Japan. The cases were remarkably similar. A wealthy victim, no apparent motive, and a costume killer. Plantard said he could supply me with more information. Well, somehow the clown must have known about our appointment.
Speaking of the
Have you
clown,
met the clown before?
It's a long story.
I have plenty of
I
time.
met him when he was a mime.
Why won't you tell me about the clown?
Why do you want to get involved?
Because he almost killed me. Isn't that reason enough?
I guess so. Listen, I'll give you my phone number. You help me with my story and I'll let you in on what I know. And let's get one thing straight right now. This is strictly business.
Okay, it's a deal.
I have to go develop these pictures. À bientôt, monsieur.
Fine. I'll see you soon.
Okay. Off he goes. Met Nico. Works for La Liberté. Knew something about whoever planted the bomb, but wasn't giving much away. But she did give me her number. I can't freely use it, but I do have her number. Whee. Okay. Moving on then. This got stopped because I was wanting to speak with this guy. Again, all this stuff is going on, but he just keeps digging.
Hey, you!
I thought you'd been arrested.
No, it was a misunderstanding.
When he pulled that gun, gah! I thought that was it. Those automatics pack quite a punch, you know?
He made a mistake. He thought I was a terrorist.
You? A terrorist? Ha!
He was only doing his duty, I guess.
Oh, good guy.
Did you see an old guy with a briefcase?
Wait, silly old coot. Do you know what he said to me? Work fascinates me, he says. I could watch it all day. Quelle bite. I could have knocked his block off.
I kind of know what he's saying with quel bit.
Did you recognize the old man?
No. Should I have done? Was he a celebrity?
No, but I guess he is now. His name was Plantard.
Was? He's dead then?
Yeah.
That's too bad. Now I wish I hadn't called him what I did. If only I could turn back the clock. If only I'd been more tolerant.
Regret and remorse are strange emotions. They really bring out the hammiest actors in people.
Mm-hmm. All right. Wonder how many times I'm going to be able to just click on clown and get responses.
Did you see a clown come by this way?
A clown? Like in a circus?
Yeah, with makeup and a big red nose.
Huh! Those guys are funny, aren't they?
Not in my experience.
I love the circus, especially the horses.
You haven't answered my question. Have you seen a clown?
You think I've got time to watch everyone who passes by? Some of us have to work for a living.
Look, I know you're busy, but surely you'd have noticed a clown.
I told you already. I didn't see a thing.
He was wearing multicolored baggy trousers and makeup.
He'd be a poor sort of clown if he didn't.
I can still ask him about the clown.
I have to find that clown. He's a killer.
Say, who are you anyhow? A cop?
No, of course not. I mean, do I look like a cop?
No, but you act like one, sticking your nose in where it's not wanted. How do you know this guy's a killer? Did you see him in action?
Didn't you hear the explosion? The cafe was blown up.
I wondered what that bang was. Any bodies?
Yeah, an old man was killed.
Merde. I didn't think it was that serious. What about the waitress?
Oh, she's fine.
Thank the
Somehow.
saints.
Take a look at this.
You told me you weren't a cop.
Don't shout about it. I'm working undercover.
Who are you looking for?
That's confidential.
Even though I already told you. Yeah. That gives me an idea of what I could use this for. Long shot, but maybe it's a solution to a future puzzle.
Would you like to read my newspaper?
I haven't got time to read that.
Can't you see I'm busy?
You could read it on your lunch break.
10 minutes is all I get. And if my boss had his way, I wouldn't get that. He'd have me on a drip, so I didn't have to stop to eat.
Oh, take the newspaper and quit complaining.
Pah! Look at this. Damn bleeding heart liberals. Tcha! Save the dolphins. Catch them and eat them, I say. All that fuss over a bunch of fish. Nah, that's more like it. Look at the size of those. Like champagne bottle corks, no? Ah, what's this? Saladin running in the Prix de l'Arc de Triomphe.
It's a racehorse?
A horse? A legend. Bucephalus reborn, mon ami. Like a streak of lightning she is. Do me a favor, won't you? Keep an eye on my hole. I'm off to put some money
don't
on
say
that.
that.
What about your toolbox?
Stuff it. Help yourself.
Okay. Yeah. Toolbox.
I'd found just what I wanted. A tool for lifting manhole covers.
Music really elevated when I found that. Like, whoa.
It was a metal rod with a handle at one end and a short cross piece at the other.
Okay.
Set into the huge gate was a smaller access door. The door was secured.
The game is so gleeful that I get to go into a sewer. I can't go his way. Oh, this.
It was a huge and weighty-looking engineer's telephone.
Oh, okay. Who can I call? Oh, I can't call Nico because I do have her number. I found nothing, Nico.
Hello, Nico Coulard.
Hello? It's George.
Oh, hi.
Well, I haven't had a lot of luck.
You found nothing?
No.
Look, I'm very busy right now. Call me if you have any news, okay?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Adieu, monsieur.
See you.
Okay. That means I can go into sewer. Here. Ada. Oh, literally. Like, wow, he just like,
the entrance to a
inserts
sewer.
that. It goes right down to his foot. Oh, man. Down we go. And in we are. Those look like spikes when I surf, but then the actual spikes are over here. A thing over here. Oop.
As I picked up the plastic ball, I realized it was intended to be worn. It was the clown's red nose.
Oh. It looks okay. This looks like he's just like blowing bubblegum.
The nose was hollow. Printed on the inside were the words La Risée du Monde, Paris. It was a bright red plastic nose, part of a clown's costume.
He's in the moon. I can keep going. Ooh. The water's pretty nice.
It was a soggy, crumpled paper tissue.
Well, better pick it up.
I scooped up the sodden tissue. It was cold and greasy, like breakfast leftovers.
Good, good. Oh, there's another thing too. George needs things in his
It was
inventory.
a small scrap of cloth caught on the rusting spike. I took hold of the scrap of material and unsnagged it from the spike.
Hey,
It was the soggy tissue I'd found in the sewers. It was the scrap of material I'd found in the sewer.
alright. I guess that means, yeah, we go up.
Hi there.
Hold it right there, you sewer rat. I knew you'd come back, and now I've got you.
What
Oh,
are you talking about?
You're trespassing. Come out of there, immediately.
That's what I'm trying to do. Give me your hand.
no.
You won't catch me with tricks like that. Keep your distance, monsieur.
Okay, okay.
Now, what were you looking for?
Well, clown is an option.
I was
Clown.
looking for a clown.
Huh, ridiculous. Do you really expect me to believe that?
He planted a bomb in the cafe and blew it up.
What? The cafe? Blown up? Mon Dieu. That is awful.
Nobody heard
And you
anything.
say the person responsible was dressed as a clown?
That's right. He blew up the cafe, escaped into the sewer, changed his clothes, and came up here.
Ah, mon Dieu. Then, the man I chased, do you think that man and the clown are one and the same?
Well, yes, it had crossed my mind.
Ah, that still does not explain what you are doing down the sewer. For all I know, you are in league with him.
Oh no, I'm just a tourist.
Haha, most tourists are content with the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, or the Pigalle. I didn't realize my waste pipes were such an attraction.
Let's see here. Briefcase. He was holding the briefcase when you left before blowing up the cafe. Well, I guess let's start with the
Tell me
clown.
about the man you apprehended.
What is there to tell? He was a typical criminal type, just like you.
Okay.
Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
Oh, she isn't hurt, is she?
No, she's fine.
Oh, thank heavens. A poor girl like her isn't safe with the likes of you roaming the streets.
Can't you understand? I'm not a gangster. I'm an American tourist.
That's what you say.
Oh, an American.
Does the name Plantar mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't. Who is he?
The man who was killed in the cafe. I'm gonna find the guy responsible. I'll find him. Even if it means following him down every sewer in every city in Europe.
Bravo!
I have nothing better to
You
do.
need some sensible boots. You won't get far in those stupid sneakers.
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
I didn't notice. Now are you going to leave? Or do I have to call the police?
Well, we can still show him things. Like, look, this is what I used to get into the sewer.
This is what I used to open the manhole cover.
Just as I thought. You were up to no good down those sewers, weren't you?
One slip and I would have been up to my neck.
I can show him. Ooh, let's show him the.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur. It's disgusting. What on earth possessed you to show it to me?
I don't know.
Someone had emptied their nostrils into it.
Do you recognize this material?
I am not telling you anything.
Hmm.
Do you recognize this material?
I am not telling you anything.
The fact that I can choose it again is important.
Take a look at this false nose.
I've never seen it before in my life.
Because it was dropped in the sewer, obviously. Anyway. Okay. I see where this is going.
Perhaps you'd like to take a look at my card?
Mm-hmm. What is this? Inspector Augustin Rousseau? What does that say? Hominoid Division?
A homicide. I
aliens.
think the ink's smudged.
Mm-hmm. Then you are not a tourist.
Okay, I'm not. I lied to you, and I'm sorry.
Don't apologize, monsieur. You know, I had a feeling there was something different about you. It is
You don't
your
sound like an
costume,
Augustin.
Your poise. Oh, yes. There is no mistaking the bearing of a disciplined man. And I should know. I was in the army, you know. When I was your age, I was fighting for my life in the African desert. How can I help you, Inspector?
Oh, now everything refreshes and we can actually get some information out of him. Good.
Tell me
Wow.
about the man you apprehended.
He was a
Wow.
mean one, monsieur. He grabbed me in an armlock. His face suddenly next to mine. His grip was like iron. But he did not know what he was up against. Oh no. He made a big mistake when he took on one of the desert hyenas.
Yes, I get the picture.
Hmm.
Do you know the waitress at the cafe?
You can't suspect her, surely.
Just answer the question, please.
Yes,
The waitress
I
has
know
some
her.
history with the
Quite
random
well.
old men.
She came to work at the cafe 7 months ago. I look forward all week to the relief she gives me when she visits.
When she
Really?
bit.
So you'd miss her if she wasn't there.
Oh, mais oui. Who else would I find to cut my toenails?
Huh. This waitress gets around. Okay.
Does the name Plantar mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, moving on.
Was the guy you saw carrying a briefcase?
Why, yes, it was. Clutched in his arms like a baby.
That belonged to his victim.
Oh, what do you think was in it? Drugs? Stolen jewels?
I don't know. But the killer thought it was worth a man's life.
Nothing is worth that, monsieur.
Not to you, I guess. Back to this fabric.
Does this piece of material mean anything to you?
That is the same cloth as the jacket I found. I'd recognize that pattern anywhere.
Now, about the jacket you found. Do you have it here?
No, monsieur. One of the sleeves was badly torn, so I sent it for repair. A pity, because otherwise it was a fine piece of quality tailoring. It had the tailor's name inside on the label.
Where did you send the jacket?
I gave it to an itinerant Romani seamstress.
Just my luck. Was there anything in the jacket pockets?
Not a sou. You know what I think?
Do tell me.
He changed out of the clown suit and cunningly disguised himself as an ordinary person.
Looks like I'm up against a mastermind.
Wow, we're getting a lot out of this
What was
coat.
the name on the label?
It was a foreign name. Todrick, I think.
Did you get the address?
There wasn't one, monsieur. Only a telephone number.
Well, I don't expect you to remember a phone number you've only seen once.
74 98 08 59.
You're kidding. That's his phone number?
59.
Yes, that's it. A little
55.
soup with numbers that I learned in the desert. I was taught the technique by a Tuareg shaman.
That's incredible.
It comes in handy at the supermarket checkout. Do I get a reward?
Honesty, monsieur, is its own reward.
Then I'm glad I do not rely on honesty to pay the bills.
Okay. I guess we got a phone number out of that.
I have to be going. Thanks to your help, the citizens of Paris can sleep a little easier tonight.
Vraiment? I was only doing my duty, monsieur. Good luck, Inspector.
I don't believe that at all.
I hope you catch that killer soon.
Now, time to awkwardly shuffle away.
So
Oh.
the clown had escaped into the sewer, come up into the courtyard, and then slipped back into the street here. Now, it wasn't much, but it was more than the cops had got.
A man running away after the bomb blast, wearing a jacket of the same made of the same material I found in the sewers. Gave the jacket away straight away. He gave the jacket away straight away. Does work. But I've got the phone number of the tailor who made it, so I might have a lead. I guess that means phone. So I can tell Nico, or I could actually, I guess, call the guy. We can barely hear that ringing.
Hello? Who is this? Hi. My name's George Stobart. You don't know me.
Correct, Mr. Stobart. I don't. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm trying to trace one of your customers. Could I maybe come over and talk to you?
No. No, that's not possible.
Oh, okay. Forget it. Listen, all I want is a name.
What are you talking about? Who are you working for?
I guess you might say I'm acting in the interests of truth and justice.
Ah, thank God. I thought you were the police.
There are innocent lives at stake, Mr. Todrick. Lives that you could save.
You're collecting for charity, yes?
No, I'm not. All I want from you is information.
Go on. I'm listening.
Clown.
What do you know about the clown who bombed the Café de la Chandelle Verte?
I don't have no idea what you're talking about.
You're cool, Todrick. But I think you know more than you're saying.
I don't know who you be, but sure I am you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Quit playing games with me, Todrick.
I tell you, I know nothing about no clown.
Okay, how about a dead
Do you
guy?
know a guy called Plantar?
No, I never heard of him.
Shall I tell you what happened to Plantar? How he was killed in cold blood?
I told you, I never heard of Plantar.
I expect Plantar's a family man, don't you? In their little apartment, Madame Plantar is cooking the supper, listening for the familiar sound of her husband's key in the door. Junior is waiting for his daddy to come home from work. He can't wait to show him the merit marks he earned in school today. Only tonight, Monsieur Plantar won't be coming home.
You forgot the puppy.
Huh?
The faithful puppy dog, waiting for the sound of his master's voice.
Well, maybe they don't have a dog. What do you think?
I don't know Plantar. I never heard of Plantar. None of this has anything to do with me.
Okay. We're done talking.
Thanks for nothing, Todrick.
Alright, who I'm supposed to actually call? Nico. Huh.
Hello, Nico Coulard.
Hello? It's George.
Ah, oui.
I have something to tell you now.
You said to call if I could help.
Have you any news for me?
You bet. I met a witness who spoke to the clown. And I know where the killer gets his suits.
No kidding. Hey, I'm impressed.
You are? Well, it wasn't easy.
Look, why don't you come here to my apartment later this afternoon?
Fine. Where do you live?
361 Rue Jarry.
Okay, I'll come over.
I was used to working alone, but I had to admit it felt good with George on the case too. But there were some things I was going to have to do alone, and fast. I needed the answers to some questions. Who was the costume killer? And why did he murder Carchon? Why did Carchon ask for me to interview him? How did he know my father? And why was my editor so scared? There was some kind of secret war going on out there, but who was on which side? One thing I did know. I wasn't going to get the answers sitting at my desk.
There's a similar thing with just sitting in the corner of the desk. There's a connection there. Oh, I can look around the apartment. Nice hanging rack. Notes. I don't want to leave yet. I want to take a look around.
My first Teddy. Never had a boyfriend as loyal as him.
My phone someone?
There wasn't anyone that I needed to call. I was beginning to hate the phone. All it brought me was bad news.
Same. Oh, we can sit
My
down?
old table had seen better days. I was beginning to know how it felt.
Yes, we could, but there's no reason to sit down. There's things over here. 3 things, it looks like.
You have no messages.
Why is there an answering machine all the way over here when she uses a traditional phone?
No messages for me. No messages for me.
Fine.
It was
Ooh.
a photograph of my father, the first one I ever took, with the first camera he ever bought me.
I really do not know where we
Okay.
are going, but I pray to God that we are gonna get there. Stay with me, don't leave me where you going. I can't be left alone out of my own hair. I think I know exactly what you're thinking, cause I think I feel the same way too. Take my hand and let's do a little more walking, walking to the moon. You said
Ooh, there's more than... Okay, there's other songs too.
but you never did, but you never did. You said you called, but you never did, but you never did.
I don't want to listen to like these songs longer than I need to.
I can't believe I wait around for you. You asked me to meet you outside your classroom, so I rushed all the way over after English, and presume your teacher must be keeping your class in, 'cause
Okay.
I don't see you around. Every time you come around, boy, you leave your heart at my door. And I can't tell what you're thinking. Are you staying? Are you leaving, boy? And every time I try to read your mind, boy, you turn away. What you acting shy for? I can't tell what you're thinking. My psychic powers are not working, boy. If you're
Either 5 or 6. Who's album? Because this is all the same singer.
loving you ain't so easy when you push me out, push me away. Your silly games do nothing but confuse me. And like a fool, I always stick around to play. Oh, loving you ain't so easy. Should be a full-time job and I get paid.
So where the hell does the love go?
Okay, we got someone different now.
All the sweetness and the fire. Is there nothing to show for all those days and those nights. Watching her go. She's walking through a new world. Ah, she won't turn around.
Very 90s though.
No, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. No, I'm not giving up. I really do not know where we are going, but I pray to God that we are gonna get there. Stay with me, don't leave me where you going.
Okay,
I
we've
can't
looped.
be left alone out of my own head. You call, but you never.
What should I leave it on? Let's leave it on this one. There's like 8 or 9 songs that are just on that stereo. Just to
Believe I'll
listen.
wait around for you.
Yeah, I'll have to look up like
You asked me to meet
whose album is this that is just in this.
So
Ooh.
I rush all the way over after.
Nico was talking about a box.
And presume your
The
teacher
box was
must
carved by my father. It never had a
has
key.
been.
The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to
Cause I don't
Cochon's.
see you around, so I sit with a
The box was one of the few
light
things my father left me. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Cochon's. The box was one of the few. The elephant on the lid. The box was one of the elephant.
Can I not open it? Guess not. I guess no way of opening it. Elephant? No. Well, at least the music stops. Information about the costume killer. How did he know I was writing the story, let alone that it had spiked? Wants me to meet him at the Café de la Chandelle Verte tomorrow morning. Should I go? What if it's a trap? They've been watching me. Will they come after me now? Need to get the story published right away. Ronnie will love it. Can't believe it. Spike the story. So we got this piece here before she realized that the story has been spiked. Someone powerful has got to him. Someone connected with Carchon and this whole nasty business. My big break, and now I must let it go. Arrived to meet Planter. Turns out the cafe has been blown up. Planter is the latest victim of the costume killer. I be next. And an American guy, George, who was caught in the blast. He's keen to find out what happened. I gave him my phone number. I hope that it wasn't a mistake. Last thing I need is someone pestering me. George called, found some clues, and invited him over this afternoon to find out more for myself before he arrives. I go to the police. Can I trust him? Glad to have someone with me. I have some serious doubts, but I'm glad he's here. All right, off we go. Ooh, Jarry.
Mademoiselle Collard.
Oh, hello there. Don't tell me I'm going to meet a tall, dark man.
No, I don't think so.
The look
Why
of...
would you say that?
Oh, just a wild guess.
Anyway, your cousin's female and very pretty. What?
Your cousin from Marseille. How could you forget her so soon? She was only in your apartment yesterday.
Ah, really?
Such a charming young girl.
Isn't she? And in my apartment, you say?
She let herself in, of course. She's got a key.
Suddenly, everything made sense. My apartment had been bugged. That was how Plantard knew all about my article. How did I know? Because the only cousin I have is a sweet little guy called Jean-Marc, who runs a patisserie in Le Touquet. These people were determined, which meant they were also very dangerous. I suppose she'd forgotten which apartment was mine.
Oh, Miss Collard, you're a mind reader. That's just what she said.
Oh, I bet it was. Well, I'd better be going. See what my sweet cousin's been getting up to.
Au revoir, mademoiselle.
I mean, the girl who looked like me broke into my apartment. Scared and wanted to talk to me. I mean, what was really going on? The organization has kept me under surveillance, but has chosen not to kill me yet.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Ooh, I can show her all the things.
The woman who claimed to be my cousin. Could you describe her again?
Well, she was your height, her hair lighter than yours, but otherwise she was very like you. But with impeccable manners, of course.
I bet.
And just shove items into her face?
Do you know anything about this boat ticket?
No, mademoiselle. I am not a tourist office.
What do you think of my hair clip?
Very nice. One day I might be able to afford one of those, mademoiselle.
How expensive is this?
What do you think of this shell case?
I think whoever stopped that one must have a sore bottom.
Hmm.
Ever seen a safe key like this?
In my business, I don't come across many safes.
Don't you put flowers in safes?
Take a look at this cloth.
It was once very beautiful. With a little work, it could make rather a nice hat.
I know. People have no respect these days, do they?
I would really love to know where the original audio file went, if there was one at all.
No.
No.
I don't suppose you're any good at unraveling codes.
My beautiful grandmother was a cryptologist for the Resistance. But all I inherited were her good looks.
What do you think of this carving?
It's nice, but I wouldn't flash it around this neighborhood.
What do you make of this message?
It will take you on a journey that begins where it ends. In laughter and in tears, in sadness and in joy.
You got all that from this paper?
No, it's from a song. I heard it on the radio this morning.
It wouldn't be sensible to let her know about Carchon.
Get her involved. It's fine.
I took this stone cylinder from a safe.
Interesting. Let me give you a word of advice. If you ever want to know what is written on it, you should smear it with paint and then roll it on paper.
What?
It's a gift, mademoiselle. I never question it.
At least there's some fun. Hey, did you do this puzzle yet?
Au revoir.
Au revoir, mademoiselle.
You wouldn't have gotten thus far if you didn't do it. Okay. Alright. Oh, shoot. There's a map now. We got 3 places to go. We have Rue Jarry, which is where we are. Carchon Residence. And we have Café de la Chandelle. Let's head back there. Oh, he can call. Who can we call? Can we just call George?
I didn't need to call anyone.
Oh, okay, fine. Can we go and say hi to the guy on the other side?
The door was locked.
Nope. Alright. Oh. Nice and quick, we can get this thing boarded up.
There was nothing I could do. The workman had everything under control.
But can I go inside?
Hey, where do you think you're going?
I wanted to see the crime scene for myself.
It's too dangerous. I am under strict instructions to stop gossip mongers and vandals from getting in.
But I'm a journalist.
Exactly. Didn't you hear what I just said?
Yeah.
What if I told you I was from the insurance company?
I'd ask for your ID.
Oh.
Well, we can go into the alley. Haven't I already been? No, I haven't been in the alley yet. Not as Nico.
The pipes weren't going to help my investigation.
No? You sure? Someone absolutely vandalized
The
it.
drain pipe had been pulled from the wall. Some idiot had clearly tried to climb it.
Not as many things to examine this time around.
There might have been clues down there, but I was relieved I didn't have a sewer key. From the stench, the hole obviously led down to the sewers.
Okay. Can't go down there. We won't see George until later today. Guess we're talking with the construction man.
Hello, could I ask you some questions?
Bit late, aren't you? They already took away the body.
I'm doing a follow-up on this story.
Oh, God. Mustache, no mustache. Oh, that's him. Okay. God. I love that it's not the inspector. It's Moo. And then we have all of the goodies that we can also show him.
Have the police finished with the crime scene?
What does it look like? I got orders to board up the windows, and that's what I'm doing.
So the body's been removed?
I certainly hope so, or it'll stink to high heaven when they take down these boards.
Shouldn't you check?
Are you kidding? They don't pay me enough to put up boards, let alone check for dead bodies.
Tell me, are you related to the workman I saw digging the hole?
Don't talk to me about flobage. Pah!
Okay.
He just won a fortune on the horses and he won't give me a cent.
Well, it's his money.
When he was broke, he was happy to touch me for a loan. Brothers should look after each other, he used to say. He's changed his tune, now he's brassed up.
He bet on the horse race. So I guess based on the time that it is, it's roughly like 2-ish. All right, let's show him things.
Are you trying to bribe me?
No.
I don't blame you, of course. Good-looking fella like me.
Sure.
Would you like this hair clip?
What do you take me for? Some kind of a pervert?
Fine.
What do you think of my shell case?
Are you in the scrap business?
Of course not.
Yep, I'm an adventure game
I've got
protector.
some rubbish just like that I need to get rid of.
Would you recognize this?
That is the key to a safe. A Warrener special, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you know how I could get the paint out of this cloth?
What do you think this is? Household Tips Week?
He wouldn't be interested. He wouldn't be interested in a substitution cipher.
Do you like this carving?
It's the kind of thing you pick up for a couple of euros at Les Puces de Saint-Ouen.
Oh.
Look at this secret message.
Very nice. But it's not secret now, is it? It's just a message.
Do you know this man?
He looks like a nasty piece of work. I had an uncle who was with the fascists, but we never talk about him.
What happened to him?
How should I know?
But you bring him up.
We never talk about him.
I don't talk about him. I just bring him up.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
What do you think I am? A plumber?
Did you just think of it as a piece of poo? I did.
You're
skip
doing
this
a
one, though.
fine job.
Okay.
Damn right I am. You should be writing about me, not that idiot that got blown up.
The heroes who pick up the pieces when disaster strikes.
Exactly.
Well, give me your best smile and maybe I'll put your picture in the article.
Oh, right. Just give me a minute to do my hair.
Oh.
The police had removed the body, but nothing else looked disturbed.
Okay. If that's the case, waitress isn't here. We just got the mirror. That's it. You can leave or mirror.
A panel had been blown away, revealing a gap. From this angle, I could see that something had been lodged in the gap behind the pipes. From this angle...
Okay. That it? I should be able to, yeah.
Behind the table were some damaged pipes. Voila! The police and forensic teams had missed a vital piece of evidence. Some kind of pouch. On the pouch was the cross symbol of Carchon's organization. I was on the right track.
They clearly wouldn't be looking for it, though.
On the pouch was the cross symbol of Carchon's organization. Inside the pouch were two items. A strange metallic artifact and a letter in some kind of code. The artifact had a sword laid across scales. There was a picture of Lady Justice on the locked panel in the room below the conciergerie. Another coded message using the same cipher system. So, Plantard was involved with Carchon.
Oh, we got another one. All right. Okay. Let's see. More Wheel of Fortune. All right. Same puzzle, just do it again. Now, would it make sense if the blah 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 the cipher was the same? Because if that's the case, then this is actually a lot easier if I remember some of the ciphers. Like this first one was an E. And the loop was an R. The N was an H. Yeah, I've got plenty of them now. Yeah, the squiggle over here was the I. This was an L. That's an L. An L right there. And then, yeah, we got Pierre, so now we got a P. Okay. Makes sense that they would use the same cipher again and again, but also it would have been more fun to, like, just keep doing, like, new ciphers to just switch up and keep the puzzle fresh. Those were A's. Yeah, and then we have N's. And then, because that's Planteur, we got the D. We got our K. Ooh, and we can use our, yeah, because those are V's. Aha. Haven't used that one yet. Are there any X's? No X's. So we got G, we got a G, which is vigilant. Oop. That one's vigilant. That was S's. We do have a couple W's. Where's the F? F? Yeah, followed. So that was an O. Lots of O's. Arno and Yamada are up here again. So there's our Y. And an M. And we got a U. Okay. But Pierre killed. Murderer must have followed trail from Arno and Yamada. he will, and then usually you have to C last. B. Okay, here's the last one. He will come for us now. We must be vigilant. Thierry's girl broke into Pierre's safe. Thierry. Oh, Thierry's Nico's dad's name. Broke into Pierre's safe. Yeah. So, ooh, she worries me. Imelda. So Imelda knows. Aha.
Plantard. Pierre killed. Murderer must have followed trail from Arnaud and Yamada. He will come for us now. We must be vigilant. Thierry's girl broke into Pierre's safe. She worries me. Imelda. So much for Imelda's innocence. Plantard was working for her and for Canchon. But why did Plantard want to meet? Was it a trap? Or maybe he was in too deep and needed me to tell the story, whatever the story was. One thing was clear. It was a story worth killing for.
Yeah, a vital piece of evidence that they absolutely were not looking for and was just a secret message specifically for Planta. Okay. Missed evidence in the cafe. Found a pouch with another coded letter. Strange metal object. Written by Imelda. She was clearly part of the organization and lied to me. Print with complete sham. Warns Plantard that the murderer will come after them. Plantard must have really wanted to tell me or show me something. Right.
Hey, what about my photos?
Oh, of course. How could I forget?
Well, I'm waiting. Get your camera out.
Camera. Oh, I forgot. It broke.
Hello. They should never send a woman to do a man's job.
Well, this
Excuse
woman
you.
had fooled him easily enough. And found the evidence the police had missed.
Alright, bye.
Hello?
Talk to you one more time?
Yes.
Ooh, I can
Do
show
you
him.
recognize this?
Look at the evidence I
Looks
just
like
found.
a kid's puzzle piece.
Would you like to see this?
No.
Don't involve me
Au
in
revoir.
stuff. Okay. So that means the main thing I'm focusing on is this piece, which is bringing me back to the key somehow.
The strange metal artifact I found in Plantard's pouch had pointed back to the quayside.
There seems to be a special location just to go to. Okay. Head back into the room. And I have to do the whole thing again. Okay. Not too bad. Lift and prop it. Nico's holding too much stuff. Put in cylinder 1. And now we have what we need in order to open up this here.
Plantard's key fitted the lock, so he must have used this place too.
All right, I got to inspect it myself. There we go.
The folders were empty. Someone had removed anything that they thought could be incriminating.
Except for
a photograph had been torn up. If I could just arrange the pieces.
She has a way with cards, the way she swept her hand over and have all of these pieces. Okay, we got it. Torn into many pieces, which must be arranged in the correct position. It's clearly the other half of that photo. And we can just move and drag them around. Like the head.
Oh my god. It can't be.
Do I need to finish the puzzle? What's there? Yeah. I only need the face. That's all I need. I don't need any other piece. Except... Pieces go together? Clearly not. They just snap onto random spots. Oop. Nope. Nope. Looks like that one does go there. Yeah, that one. Let's make a border. Yeah, let's literally make the border. This one goes up top there. This one goes there. Good. I don't think it's going to go any further than that because it's the other side of that picture. So... yeah, that's it.
There was no doubt about it. It was a picture of my father. Papa, oh God. After what I'd gone through, I thought I could face anything, but not this. My father, the one person in the whole world who I truly admired, standing with Crachon, while those murderers carried on with their evil work. My father, grinning at the camera. I couldn't believe it. I realized that I desperately needed to get to the bottom of this story, and that I really needed George.
Mild twist, she gets shot. If she can't get shot, she has 4 other games to go to. Oh, and we're switching back to George. Nope, nothing new there. But I think that's a way for finishing up here. There's much to really talk
Oh, hi.
Bonjour, monsieur. Would you like me to foretell your future?
No thanks.
I'm very good. It only takes a minute.
Thanks all the same, but I'm not superstitious. Besides, if it only takes a minute, that's not much of a future to look forward to.
Ooh. Well, you want to see my sewer key?
What do you make of this tool?
Is it something a dentist would use?
No, it's for raising manhole covers.
Formidable.
Do you recognize this nose?
No, monsieur.
What can you tell me about this tissue?
Nothing.
Nothing. Get it away.
What can you tell me about this material?
It's a very expensive piece of cloth, monsieur.
Well, what do you actually do here?
Are the flowers for sale?
Oui, monsieur.
Okay. I'll take a bunch of those white ones.
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
No?
They are lilies, monsieur. Some people associate them with death.
Yikes. Thanks for telling me. What other flowers do you have?
Dahlias?
What do they signify?
Insecurity?
I don't want to give her the wrong idea about me. What about the tall yellow ones?
Those are iris, the flame of passion.
And the little yellow ones?
Sensuality.
Well, they're no use to me. I want to make an impression, not jump down her throat.
Uh-huh.
Do you know a young woman called Nicole Collard?
Yes, I do. She lives upstairs from me in the apartment block across the street. The door isn't locked, but you'll need to give it a gentle nudge. It sticks, you see, because of the damp. The landlord said he'd fix it before winter sets in. He's been saying that for 3 years.
Same. But they also just maybe don't know.
How long has Mademoiselle Collard lived here?
A few months. She's in for a shock when the cold weather comes. Drafty windows, insufficient heating. It's a struggle to keep warm. The only reason I stay is because the rent is cheap. Your young lady, she deserves better.
I thought Mademoiselle Collard was a successful photographer.
Not as successful as she makes out for all her fine clothes. Oh, I've heard her crying herself to sleep at night.
That's awful.
Now don't you let on that I've told you. She's proud, that one. Too proud, if you ask me.
Right?
Have you seen anyone out here watching Mademoiselle Collard's apartment?
Yes, I have. A strange man. Tall and thin as a broomstick. He kept his face hidden.
Oh, no.
But I saw his eyes peering from evil little slits.
How was he dressed?
A long brown raincoat with an hat.
Or like Humphrey Bogart?
Yes, but he didn't have Bogart's charisma. Besides, this guy looked like he needed a toilet. You never saw Bogart clenching his buttocks like that.
Wow, we can just keep going.
Is there anything else you can tell me about Mademoiselle Collard?
No, monsieur.
All right, we're done. All right, fortune telling. Let's do
I've
it.
changed my mind. Will you tell my fortune?
You're going on a long journey.
My, oh my. What a surprise. Can you tell me anything I don't already know?
Oh.
How does this fortune-telling routine work?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be selling flowers for a living.
Haven't you ever wondered why you were blessed with the gift?
Well, it's a bit like satellite television, I suppose. Some of us are born with a built-in receiver dish. I just happen to be one of the lucky ones.
Can you really foretell the future?
Only time will tell, monsieur. The strange thing is, I can't seem to see myself in the future. Other people, I have no problem. But when I try to see what might happen to me, nothing.
That must be scary.
Maybe. I figure it's a kind of natural safety mechanism. Either that, or I don't have a future.
Usually the case with fortune tellers. They never read themselves. All right, going on a long journey. Kind of how we'll end off.
That's right, monsieur. You will.
She's a recurring character in the series. I'm gonna flip that. All right, that's gonna do it though. We're gonna go up and meet Nico in her apartment next time because we've gotten a lot. Feels like a lot done. We're chasing a clown, maybe mime. We have a bunch of stuff that we're able to look at that Nico has and George hasn't. They've seen each other. They've met each other. Now going to be working with each other. And still not really figuring out the answer if there's a broken sword anywhere. And the Templars really haven't come up yet apart from the symbol that is in the secret room. This looks promising. We've got some build-up. We've got some decent things happening. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what's here. All right. Now to get myself ready to get on out of here and see what we got. There we go. Lovely. All right. So yeah, we'll continue with this next week. We'll get deeper into what's happening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And we'll pick up with more of Broken Sword next week. Maybe soon. Looking forward to it, actually. Not too bad. All right. Thank you for watching. Take care. I'll see you next time, everyone. Bye.